All right, so we're diving deep into this one, huh? West Ham versus Crystal Palace.
Yeah, should be a good one.
It's looking pretty tasty, gotta say.
Hmm?
You've given me some great pre-match analysis here, some
Thanks.
some juicy stats to work with here. So let's see what we can uncover, eh?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's West Ham under, well, new management, right?
Yep,
They're hungry for, what is it, their second win in a row?
that's right.
And, well, Crystal Palace are undefeated on the road in their last 6 matches.
They're on a roll.
It's not just another game, is it?
Yeah.
This is a story waiting to happen.
It is, it is.
So what's really grabbing you about this matchup? I mean, where do we even begin?
I think what's really interesting is the contrast, you know? You got West Ham with Graham Potter at the helm, kind of still trying to find their feet after that shaky win against Fulham.
Oh, you think that was shaky, eh?
It was a bit, wasn't it? 3-2. Bit closer than they'd like, I'd imagine. And then you have Crystal Palace, right? They're just surging with confidence, fresh off that clean sheet against Leicester, 2-0, away from home.
Hmm. You know, thinking about that Fulham game, I mean, it was a win, right?
Mhm.
But was it a little bit more dramatic than West Ham fans would hope for? I mean, could that be a sign of, I don't know, some kinks in Potter's armor, so to speak? Or was it just, first game jitters, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's probably a bit early to say anything definitive about Potter's system, just one game in. But I will say, I mean, the performance did show some weaknesses, right? I mean, especially defensively. And I think Palace, they could definitely capitalize on that if they're smart.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Right.
But on the other hand, you can't ignore West Ham's goal-scoring record against Palace, can you? I mean, it's impressive. 21 Premier League matches in a row they've scored.
It's quite a streak.
And that's their longest streak against any opponent in the top flight, right?
That's right.
And they're going for their first league double against Palace since the 2016-17 season, right? I mean, they already beat them at Selhurst Park this season, 2-0. I mean,
They did.
but then again, Palace are looking pretty formidable on the road.
No doubt about that.
I mean, 6 away league matches unbeaten. That's their best run since, what was it, 1992?
That's right, 92.
Yeah. And only one loss in their last 10 league games. I mean, come on, they're not going to roll over, are they?
Yeah.
Especially away from home.
No, not at all. They've got a real knack for grinding out those results when they're away, especially against West Ham. I mean, think about it. They're unbeaten in their last 5 away Premier League matches against them, and often, often they've had to come from behind.
Yeah.
That says something about their mentality, you know? They're resilient, they've got tactical flexibility. West Ham, they better watch out.
So, all right, let's talk players. Who are the game changers here? Who should we be glued to?
Well, for West Ham, I gotta say, keep an eye on Tomáš Souček.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one to watch. I mean, he's not just scoring goals. He's all over the midfield, winning those aerial duels, creating chances. He's a real disruptor.
Yes.
And he scored 4 goals against Palace already, including that winner in their last meeting, which,
oh, wow.
That just goes to show you how effective he can be against them.
Yeah, he's got their number.
He does.
Okay, so that's West Ham. What about Palace? Who should we be watching?
Well, Marc Guéhi, their captain, he's a force to be reckoned with, especially on set pieces. He's got 6 Premier League goals this season, and every single one of them has come from a set piece. And get this, 5 of them were away from home.
Wow, so they really know how to exploit those situations.
They do, and that just shows you, his aerial ability, how strong he is in the air. But also, Palace's tactical awareness, they know how to make the most of those set-piece opportunities.
Man, all this talk about goals has got me on the edge of my seat here. It's going to be a good one.
It is.
And, speaking of goals, we can't forget that juicy stat you mentioned, right? About all the late drama at West Ham's home ground.
Oh, right, yeah. In 3 of West Ham's last 4 home Premier League matches, we've seen goals after the 70th minute. So, that suggests they've got a tendency for these late surges, right? Maybe it's a reflection of Potter's attacking mindset, wanting to push for those late winners. Or maybe it's just the pressure of playing at home, wanting to please the crowd. It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah. It's hard to say. So where does this leave us? I mean, we've got these contrasting styles, right?
Yeah.
2 teams in top form and a history of, well, let's be honest, dramatic encounters. This match could go any which way. What's your gut telling you?
Honestly, it's a tough one to call. It really is. You got West Ham. They're going to be looking to stamp their authority at home, under their new manager. But then you got Palace. They're going to try and, use their away form to their advantage. And they're a very disciplined side tactically.
Yeah.
I think it really comes down to whether West Ham can break down Palace's defense and avoid conceding those late goals like we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's going to be key for them.
It is.
So, all right, before we let everyone go, any final thoughts for our listeners as they tune into this match?
Yeah, I think go beyond just the goals and the final score, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention to the little battles within the game. Watch how Souček, with his physical presence, how he goes up against Guéhi, who's so dominant in the air, and see how Potter adapts his tactics to deal with Palace's, their counterattacking style. Those little details, they often tell the real story of the match beyond just the final scoreline and the headlines.
It's awesome. Well, thanks for joining me for this deep dive. As always, it's a pleasure to pick your brain.
Anytime.
And to everyone listening, enjoy the match. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.
Cheers.
Cheers.